Alrighty then, we are going live. Now I am just going to, first of all, I am not going to do that fluffy thing where I'm going to sit here and talk for ages about nothing and wait for everyone to come on live. What I am going to quickly do is just make sure that I'm streaming into all of my locations. And so far it looks like we are live in all of our locations. So we are on my Facebook group, Entrepreneur to Edupreneur, my Sarah Cordiner public Facebook page, and just checking YouTube, making sure we're going live on YouTube. Looks like we are good to go. Okay, so this is live stream to talk about how long should your online course be. One of the common questions I get is, how long should I put my course together to turn out to be? Should it be an hour? Should it be 2 hours? Should it be 10 hours? Should I do one massive long video? Should I do lots and lots of short videos? And it's something that is very much a stumbling block to many people when it comes to working out how to split up their content, how to divide it all up into a logical manner, how to put it all into the right order, but most importantly, how to make sure that it's engaging enough for their students to keep wanting to go through the program and ultimately to complete it. So in this live stream, which will be about 15 minutes long, I am going to answer this question with 3 tips. So I'm not going to waste everyone's time. Let's crack on with what those 3 tips are. How long should your online course videos be? All right, so let me first of all just make sure that I can slide over to the next slide. Now, what's really important to know is that the value of your online course is not determined by how long it is. So I really, really want people to get that into their heads. You can have a course that's 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes long and it be absolutely invaluable to your learners. It's all about how people feel by the end of your course, what skills they have by the end of your course, and what they know by the end of your course. Now, I have taken simple 5-tip mini courses that have had just as big an impact on what it is that I need to do and the outcomes that I had as massive 12-month coaching programs had. So it's all about, first of all, working out what are the outcomes of your program that you're actually promising? What results are you promising to people? Because the value of your program is determined by that and whether or not you give that to them, rather than by how many minutes or hours the course actually was. And that's really, really important for you to know. But there are some guidelines. Now, I don't, a lot of people then say to me, but that's not good enough. It doesn't help me. So I am going to give you some guidelines, but this is the first thing I want you to know. Now, for those of you who are just watching, if you haven't got my free course creation starter kit, you can go to sarahcorden.com/starter kit and you can grab that right now. It's totally free of charge and it's got loads of training in there as to how to start your online course, how to create your online course from scratch. It's got templates, workbooks, quizzes, and course outline kits and everything in there. So do go and grab that now. All right, so with that in mind then, I'm going to give you some guidelines, but I'm not going to give you rules, because from a curriculum design perspective, there is not a rule to this, provided that the learning outcomes are being met. So you do, however, need to be thinking about the human beings that are taking your course, okay? That's really, really important. I'm just checking my sound's working. There are people who are watching your programs, and so it's their engagement that you need to keep in mind. Now, one of the things I say to people is keep your courses as short and sweet as you possibly can. There's lots of reasons why, and I'm going to go into those in just a second. But you need to bear in mind that some people will watch 5 seconds of a video and go, oh, this is rubbish, and turn it off straight away. Other people can watch 15 hours worth of films and videos and not get bored at all, because it's what engages them and it's what content is giving them the answers that they're looking for. So it's about the content and not the duration of your program. That's really, really important. So free lead magnet mini courses, for one, can be really, really short. They might just be 3 or 5 tips. And those 3 or 5 tips could be written. They could be really short videos. They could be a tip delivered in an email. And that would be really, really quick. Now, you might deliver that over 3 to 5 days. You may have a massive masterclass that goes into, like university level content, and it takes 15, 20, 30 hours for someone to complete. There might be programs that are spread out over a year. So again, it's not about the duration of the entire course that's important, provided that the course is delivering what it says it's going to deliver. The course itself can be really, really long. It can be really, really short. That's fine. However, there are some guidelines about the videos within the course that I'm going to give you that can massively help your engagement and your completion rates. So tip number one of the 3 tips I'm going to give you today is to try to keep your content, your video content, to only 1 key point per video. 1 point only. One of the things that us edupreneurs, course creators, experts and things do is we tend to over deliver, right? We tend to go way too in depth. We tend to go straight into technician mode and give as much information as we possibly can. Sometimes we do that to justify our own confidence and get rid of that sense of self-imposter syndrome. You know, we want to go, if we give you loads and loads and loads and loads of content, we can prove that we're really good at what we do and no one's going to criticize us or judge us. But actually we need to just get straight to the point. So I'm going to keep doing that. Now, 1 key point per video is because one of the reasons is because people's attention spans are pretty short in a world that's highly distracted. Now, what I'm not saying is that all of our students are stupid and can't hold their attention on certain things. But what I am saying is that people are often now watching online training on their phone when they're at work, between work, with the kids running around, sat on the toilet, in between ad breaks when they're watching the television. There is always loads and loads of stuff going on around them. And so the distraction level means that people are more likely to only watch little, short, sharp snippets of your training videos. And they're going to stop, start all the time. Now, data shows that people's attention spans and or distraction rates tend to come in anywhere between the 2 to 9 minute mark. I know. And there's a lot of data I've read out there that suggests that between 2 to 9 minutes, it's actually getting shorter and shorter and shorter over time. And in fact, it was only about 3 years ago where the average duration of watch time was about 15 minutes. So it's already gone down dramatically in just a few years. So I'll talk more about that guideline in a moment, but bear that in mind, because if your videos are going over that period of time, there is a chance they will drop out. And when your goal is to get people to finish your courses and finish your videos, because that will give them the most value, which will give them the best results, which then makes them say that your course was amazing, then you want to try and keep that tip within that duration. Now, it's really important that I also reinforce the fact that it is not wrong if you go over that period of time. It's not a curriculum design rule. It's quite simply just data shows that people's attention spans only last that long. Now, another reason why you keep 1 point per video is because of people's cognitive information processing, i.e. our tiny little brains that are full of distraction can only take in so much content at a time. And so the more you limit the little pieces of information into smaller bites, the easier it is for our brains to process it, understand it, and then synthesize it to our own situations. Another reason is stop-start learning. As I mentioned before, when it comes to online learning, people drop in and drop out constantly. And in fact, you know, it's less and less and less common for people to sit down and finish a course from beginning to end in one go. I'd love to know how many people do that when they buy an online course. But the numbers on people doing that are quite low. So it's all about recognizing the fact that if we can keep our videos short, sharp and sweet, they're more likely to finish a whole video, then stop in between before they start the next video, meaning they're more likely to retain the information and not get themselves lost along the way. The other thing about keeping to 1 key point per video is that when you list out everything that's in your online course, either on your sales pages or on your curriculum page, it actually more explicitly illustrates the value of your program. If you just had sort of one massive video that was how to make a cup of tea, well, it only shows one video and it only shows one promise. Whereas if you break that course down into little steps, 1 key point per video, how to prepare the utensils, how to boil the kettle, how to put the tea bag in the cup, how to put the milk in, what kind of milk to use, blah, 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 blah. Well, now all of a sudden the value of that course has just gone up dramatically in its perception because it shows just how much stuff is in it. So it's really, really good for that sales psychology as well. Now, another reason why you keep to 1 key point per video is for effective marketing techniques later on. Now, something I'll go into another time in another video, but I'm going to touch on it now, is when you have broken down your course to 1 tip per video, you can actually repurpose those videos later on for marketing and credibility establishing content. So you could either put some of those videos up on YouTube and it will be how to something or the answer to something. It's going to be more likely to be found. And it can also be used to answer people's questions in social media groups. Whereas if you had like one massive video with loads and loads and loads of content in it, all in that one place, it would be really hard for you to use that content to answer questions here, there, and everywhere. Another reason is because when you have one tip per video, you can actually then build this big archive of videos, a big library of videos over time. And you can then pick and mix those videos to make real tailored little courses later on using a selection of all of your videos from all over the place, from all different multiple courses. And so that can be a really great way to reuse and repurpose your content. Okay, tip number 2 for video duration. Every single video you do should answer a question. Now, there's a number of reasons for this, and one of the first ones I'm going to touch on is because when people go to the internet, when they go to Google, when they go to Facebook groups, when they go to YouTube, they type in more than anything else, how to something. How to get something, how to do something, how to be something, how to have something, how not to get something. And what comes up in the search results, usually the first 3, 4, or 5 things will be what they click on. And if what they click on is your YouTube video answering the question, or your online course that had that video inside the curriculum plan, well, you're the one that's going to get the business. And so this is why I always recommend to people creating online courses that they should try to title each video they have as a question that their audience are typing into Google, because that's going to give you the maximum searchability, the maximum search engine optimization. It's going to make your videos, your content, and your courses more likely to come up in your student search results, and therefore acts as organic marketing for you. So again, if you would put loads and loads of content into one video, it's going to be really hard for you to kind of hack that searching that your customers are actually doing. All right, I'm just going to check whether I've got any questions coming up or not. Binge watch once. Yeah, love a bit of binge watching TV. Okay, so there's no questions, so I'm going to keep going. Now, what else do we have? The other reason why, again, I mentioned before that you should have each video answering a question. So all of my online course videos, I try to make how to something, just like I've done with this live stream video here. The title of it is how long should your online course videos be? Because that's the question I'm being asked. That's the question that my audience are typing into Google and into YouTube. So for you, it's going to help you sell your courses if it's really, really clear by those titles that your video answers questions, and it's highly practical and it has the solutions that your audience are actually looking for. If your content that you're teaching in your video or in your course doesn't directly answer a question, then I'd be asking myself, do I really need to include this? Because you want to make it as short as you possibly can. So what you can do to get over that is you can create either an extra resources lesson or a bonuses section, and you can put in all of that extra reading. So I might go, right, I want to keep my video to as close to 10 minutes as I possibly can. I could talk on this topic for 2 hours. So what I'm going to do is answer it in 10 minutes. And then at the end of the video say, and if you go to the bonuses section, you will find heaps of other videos or articles or my podcast or whatever it is that goes into this in much more depth. All right, so you can see there how you don't have to steal any content or value from your program by making your videos shorter. It's just the way that you engage your audience in the primary. I am here to give you the answer to your question as fast and directly as I possibly can. I'm now making up words. Brilliant. And finally, when you are giving examples or setting the scene of context, just make sure that you don't talk about yourself too much or you talk too long about a particular scenario or a particular story. It just, again, use the answer video to get to your point for your students as fast as you possibly can. Now, the final tip for course duration, tip number 3, is to use this 2 to 9 minute guide. And please don't hang up on this. I get a lot of people who go, Sarah, you told me that my video should be under 10 minutes, but it's 11. Does that mean I need to refilm my whole online course? No. All right, do not take this literally. This is not a law. This is not a rule. It is not a curriculum design principle. It's just a guide for you to say, hey, With all the distractions going on in the world, you're better off trying to keep each video to 10 minutes. If your content is more than 10 minutes, can you break it into 2 videos instead? Voila, it just demonstrates more value in your course. It helps keep it bite-sized, it helps keep it to the point, and it shows extra value in your program. So remember, it's about delivering outcomes. You want to make your content as digestible as you possibly can. But finally, showing lots of content is really, really good for your sales. Now, I've put an example here. In sales psychology, people like to see how much stuff they are getting in exchange for their money. So a 30-minute video, they might go, okay, that's cool. I think that answers my question. I maybe might buy it. Or you might have 6 5-minute videos. They're going to go, whoa, now this course has got some stuff in it, right? 6 videos versus 1 video. It's still 30 minutes worth of video, right? It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same content, but purely by the way that it's broken up and you've defined in this 5 minutes, you're going to learn this. In this 5 minutes, you're going to learn this. In this 5 minutes, I'm going to answer this question. Your students get to see just how valuable your content is. So they're my top 3 tips for how long should your online course video be. The answer is however long it takes to deliver the outcomes that your course promises is how long your course should be. That doesn't matter whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 5 hours, whether it's 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years. University degrees are that long, remember, and people finish them. So it's not about the duration of the course, it's about the duration of the videos within the course so that you maximize the completion of every video so that your students get everything from your videos that you have to say. If anyone doesn't finish each video, they don't get the whole tip, they don't get the whole outcome, and they're not going to get the whole result that your program promised. So if you guys are ready to start your online course creation journey, you can get my completely free of charge course creation starter kit. In that, I got over 11 video tutorials on everything from how to get yourself your little course creation mojo motivation going. So I've got some of the most common motivation stoppers for course creation, whether how to get over that imposter syndrome, the fear of being criticized, how to actually get started with your topic idea, your online course topic, how to make sure it has market demand, what tech do you need? I answer all of those questions. How do you sell your online courses? What type of online course should you create? Because there's actually 5 different types. There's a quiz in here that you can answer to do that. And also there is a whole mini course inside here on how to create your first online course plan, including a downloadable template for you to use to create that course plan. So that's completely free of charge. If you go to sarahcordiner.com/starter kit, you guys can actually grab that right now, completely free of charge. It will be immediately in your inbox. So I'm just going to see if I've got any questions coming up here. Any questions? Awesome tips. Thank you, Sylvia. Fastly, fastly is a word. Yes, let's make it a word. Let's do that. If anyone has got any more questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will come back and answer those questions. And thank you very much for coming along listening. Now, please press share. I'd love it if you share this live stream everywhere. If you found it useful and helpful, that will be a great thanks for me coming on and sharing this tip with you live. All right, I'll see you all very soon for another tip on how to create online courses and grow your education-based business. See you all soon. Bye.